Okay, we are live. Welcome everyone. This is not a community call. This is actually like a cool workshop that we're doing during this MetaMask and Monad Dev Cook-Off. And yeah, we're super excited to have here Ayush and Snoop Beaver to actually speak a little bit about smart accounts, MCPs, and super excited. You want to quickly introduce yourself, Snoop Beaver? You wanna start first?
Sure. Thank you for having me. My name is Stu Bieber. I'm covering the AI side at the Monad ecosystem right now. And yeah, super thrilled to be joining this workshop. And yeah, looking forward.
Nice. Go for it, Ayush.
Hi everyone. I'm Ayush. I lead the development at MetaMask Smart Accounts, or you can also known as like Detection Toolkit. I think like now by the time like everyone might know like what I do at like MetaMask.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, I usually also doing everything. I think definitely that's your specialty. But I think like in half of the workshop that we're doing, you're always around. So that's great. Okay, so again, everyone, welcome to this kind of like workshop. So this is all about Monad MCP 101 and MetaMask Smart Accounts, aka Delegation Toolkit. So we're very excited to. Kind of like to have this session. I know it's kind of like a Thursday, but what is exciting here is that during this kind of like monthly plus online hackathon, we are trying to do this kind of like workshops and kind of like explain how you can build, what are the things that you want to build, and different things. So, what are we actually like covering today? We're doing quick intros. What are we doing, and what is this kind of like Dev Cook-Off? And then we're actually like diving deep a bit in the MetaMask smart accounts. So, FYI, we also had a very specific session on the Mona Discord side, and I think for everyone that will listen to this can also like check the previous section. And I think there was even like a longer one and more technical one, so that was actually like excited to see. And then we will speak a little bit about the NCP 101. So we'll have here like Snoop Beaver giving some kind of like deeping down on the MCP side, but also like giving some example what can be built also on the AI side. So that's actually quite exciting. And then we kind of like close up what are the things that you can build, how you want to participate, and maybe we can dive a bit into the page of the HackQuest. I think that's a little bit it. So to give context, this is the MetaMask Smart Accounts and Mona Dev Cook-Off. We will kind of like put it on at the end. But basically, like if you are a solo hacker, if you are a team, if you already have previous DApp and you want to kind of like build on top on smart accounts and Monad, this is a good way to actually be part of this hackathon. Those I don't know when we started those MetaMask Dev Cook-Offs, but I think this is probably like the 10th that we are doing. These are kind of longer online hackathon, and the idea here was always giving the opportunity to everyone, IRL and online, but also not just individual developers, also like for dApps owner founders to extend the functionality of what people are building. And I think like even for you, Ayush, like you did couple of like those already. How was the experience so far?
I mean, it was really great to see like good projects. We have already seen like a lot of like couple of good projects in the like in the hackathon that we're currently running, and it's not even been ended yet. We still have like 10, 15, 11 days left in the hackathon, and what people are building with Delegation Toolkit and on Monad is completely like amazing. I remember I shared you in the first week itself that there was a Delegation Explorer, which we were thinking we were
Yes.
talking about just a day before, and someone built it, which is kind of like good to have always from the community.
Oh yeah, and the way that also you create impact, right?
Yeah.
I think it's a great way. Yeah, sounds good. I mean, it's exciting. I think like we can just jump in. I definitely like wanna iterate. Like if you're hearing this, this workshop and you still didn't hack, is a good way also like to get involved. But in some way also, if you wanna extend the functionality, you wanna integrate the smart accounts on Monad. Like there is different ways to get involved in this. And this again, what you said is a long hackathon, so you can start hacking in half. You can start hacking like at the beginning or at the end, like the important thing is that this is not a 48 hours kind of like kind of like fresh code starts. So we really want to give the opportunity to everyone to hack and take their time. Okay, sounds good. I think like we can kind of like dive deep a bit. I think like we did different workshops in the past. I think I used you even came in this MetaMask developer committee calls to kind of like present all our updates around the smart accounts. But you want to give quick like context on what are actually like those MetaMask smart accounts? What can you do with it? What are these delegation that people are always asking? It's very exciting. So many use cases here.
So I think like everyone knows like what are smart accounts by now, like because everyone has been like hearing the account abstraction and like ERC 4337 like since last 3 years and every time. So like we also have like our MetaMask smart accounts which are also like in like MetaMask extension. If you when you do 7.0 upgrade on MetaMask extension, it basically uses the MetaMask smart accounts behind the scenes. So if you are a developer who wants to like use MetaMask smart accounts on like either your dApp, or if you want to build like 7.02 kind of dApp where you are upgrading your users to like smarter accounts, you can use like MetaMask smart accounts at that point of time. And one of the cool feature that makes us stand apart from other smart account providers are like delegations. Now you might be wondering like what delegations are. So just to explain, as a 5-year-old child or something like that, it would be like I want to give a parental control to some other person, right? Like, hey, I'm giving Francesco an ability to spend like 10 USDC on my behalf. Now Francesco can use that permission to like execute transactions on my behalf, which is pretty cool to have, right? Because think of the use cases where like you have an agent, you don't need to create an like embedded account. You can directly give permissions to the agent, like, hey agent, I'm giving you 10 USDC permission. Now you can use this 10 USDC to do anything you want to do and give me the better yield at the end of the day. I can like do automations, like think of a service like revocation service where I'm giving a dApp permission to revoke like token approvals on my behalf. And whenever there is an exploit happening, I don't need to go to the revoke.cache and manually like revoke all my approvals. The dApp can basically revoke the approvals on my behalf. So even while I'm sleeping, an exploit is happening, I don't have to worry about my tokens getting drained. So I think that's what like delegations are. It's a powerful tool that you can use to create automations. You can think of the agentic use cases that you want to do with delegations. It's pretty cool. And all of this happens like restrictions happen on chain. So which is another cool thing because there is no like it's all decentralized, all validated on chain. So you can even go and like create your own like permissions on chain and then use it in the delegation.
Yeah, just to add, like, yeah, I think I pretty agree with Ayush on that part because I think like delegation is pretty much just like starting point of AI agent. We cannot just like let AI agent to have our private key to control every kind of stuff, which will eventually can be also we are seeing a lot of jailbreaking on the like even on the big tech LLMs. Those kind of agents can also get breaked when like those private key is revealed. It's just going to be disaster. That's why I think also Web2 companies like Visa or MasterCard or even Stripe are doing this kind of delegation like structure for AI agents to have to spend have a spending limit and like have the delegation on behalf of the user. So yeah, really thrilled to see this like MetaMask delegation toolkit and really looking forward for the different use cases that will be popping up at the Monad ecosystem too.
Yeah, I think it gives you the guardrail that you want like your agents to have, right? Like the delegations.
Yeah, it's really strong guard
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I'm excited about what also on the around the A004 around trustless agent is happening and all this permission that you can give. There is a lot of like sub use case. Ayush, apart kind of the AI side, what are the top use case that you saw around being popping around apps?
Like we have like one shot API, shout out to them. Like they have building on delegation toolkit a lot, and they have built a automation service where you can basically have recurring swaps on Uniswap. So even if you like, you might know about DCA, right? So similar to that, you can just give permission on the automation service that they have that buy like some like take my USDC and buy some ETH or other tokens, and they basically kind of execute those permissions on chain. So whenever like the limit or the DCA limit is hit, it basically will buy the tokens on your behalf and will be transmitted to your account, and you don't even need to go and manually like kind of approve or something like that. And all of this happen without having an fragmented smart like fragmented embedded wallet on the dApp side. Because when we talk about perpetuals or like other kind this kind of services, right, they always like create an embedded account. So you are not basic, you need to first transfer the funds from your account to that embedded account, and then this embedded accounts are basically used as a like tool to like facilitate all the automation that they do on the tab. But with delegations you don't need that embedded account, so also removing the fragmentation that user has to go through of transferring the funds from one account to another account.
Nice. Sounds good. What we want to do? Do you want to screen share something around kind of like, I don't know, the repo, how people can get started with actually the smart account SDK? Let me know. Happy to also like jump in our next section.
Sure. Like I'll share my screen and I'll show this one thing that I think like anyone
Nice.
can use it to get started with like the smart accounts one. Just me. So if you go on our docs, right? I think like it's visible now. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Let's see.
you will see like use the CLI over here. So this is the CLI that we have prepared. So if you want to get started with MetaMask smart accounts or the delegations, you just need to write this like command npx@metamask /create gator app, and this will like give you like what project name you want to keep. It's similar to like Next.js starter like CLI that we use usually to create projects. You can choose the framework as well, Next.js or React. And then you can pick a template. We have as of now 4 templates, like which is like MetaMask Smart Account Starter, MetaMask Smart Accounts, and Delegation Starter. We also have like a far custom mini app Delegation Starter. So it's basically if you're targeting for the like far custom mini app track, you can also use this starter. Then we have the experimental Sense and 1.5 permission starter. This is not in the scope of this hackathon, but if you are interested in what we're doing with Sense and 1.5, you can also play around. Just pick up like package manager and that's it. You are all good to start with like MetaMask smart accounts and the delegations. And we have a lot of guides as well. So if you go on our docs, you will see like a lot of guides: how to create a smart account, deploy a smart account, send a user operation, guestless transaction, generating a multi-sig signature, and also like on the delegations, how to execute a transaction on behalf of like smart account. So you'll see like how to define the spending limits, functions call scopes, and all this thing, which I think will be really helpful for any developer who wants to build on like MetaMask smart accounts and delegation.
Nice. This is, I think so. Basically, your recommendation is those starting from those docs, the CLI launch plus the guides and tutorial that you mentioned. I think that's quite strong. And I think there is a couple of also like live workshops that we did in the past that people can actually like pick up.
Yes, we actually like also showed like how you can use the CLI in that workshops. So if you are part of that, like you might know like how to use a CLI and like what are the different things that you can do with CLI as well.
Nice, exciting. Sounds good. Yeah, I think everybody has all the instruments. So I think like we can move to our second kind of like part here. I mean, again, Zubiver, welcome again. It's quite an honor actually to collab with Monad or BizDev Cook-Off. So let's learn a bit around Monad MCP 101s and what kind of like people can build those days.
Yeah, so yeah, let me share the screen first.
Sounds good.
Okay, are you guys seeing the screen?
Yes.
Okay, got it. So yeah, so I'll be skipping the part one, I think. For this stage, I think most of the people have already been started with the MetaMask delegation toolkit and also set up on the Monad ecosystem. So I'll be more focusing on briefly introducing the resources that you can use on Monad, and also a brief introduction of the article by Anthropic on how to build a good AI agent. And lastly, kind of cover what to build on Monad, what kind of like AI projects, AI agent projects that Monad team is seeking for. So yeah, I'm like just to briefly follow up on the Piyush part. So basically what delegation just means is when owner has its own smart contract, um, he or she can delegate some of the right of the smart contract that the owner has to different UA or a different smart account. And how it does this is using a pre-built caveats to find like a right enforcer to give this new EUA or AI agent smart contract to have the delegation right for the smart contract that the owner has. So if you haven't started yet, there's a code source over here. You can use this will directly implement the basic delegation toolkit agent that has like 10 mon spending limit for the AI agent. So if you haven't started, you can just go to this GitHub repository to see the details. So yeah, I'll be skipping the code explanation part. So yeah, just to briefly begin this, to explain what is Monad. Monad is a fully EVM equivalent L1. So if you're that any kind of RPC that you have been using on Ethereum mainnet, it'll be all fully supported. Every kind of EVM app also works same in Monad. And also Monad is super fast. It holds over 11K transactions per second at the testnet right now. So yeah. And it also has a 0.4 second diff block times and 0.8 second diff finality. And we are also really decentralized. We already have 99 validators. Even though we're a really high performance chain, this decentralization is the core value that we want to keep on following. Yeah, this is the map of our different validators throughout the world. And also the good part of the Monad is that we support a 128 kilobyte size of the smart contracts, which means for a smart contract devs, I think you all have experience of like splitting the contract into factories and like several different Sol files to kind of detour this contract limit alert. But in Monad, you can enjoy this huge size of smart contract so that you can deploy any kind of contract on chain. And yeah, to wrap up on Monad is kind of in the middle ground of the EVM compatibility and also the high performance. And that is exactly what we are trying to be. We also have experimental Monad MCP up and running. If it's currently also in the Versal currently, so you can just integrate it to your Claude or Cursor to take utilize of it. Also, we have a GitHub for this Monad MCP so that you can download it to your local machine and customize it with your own tools to use it on your local setting. If you go to this website, you will see different features that it can use. Usually like get balance or making transactions or reading a contract and getting a gas bill. Like most of the features that you will expect for the like chain MCP, it'll be there. And also there's if you guys are building AI agent that is related to DeFi stuffs, then there's also a Kudu MCP. Kudu is one of our leading CLOB devs on Monad testnet right now. And Kudu's AI, which is one of the AI agent platform in Monad, has built this Kudu MCP public so that you guys can use it. Currently, they support swap on Kudu MCP. So if your agent is swap feature on Kudu, you should definitely check this out to see it. And yeah, I also wanted to briefly, because this is a workshop that is having an audience to the developers, and especially because this is the workshop for the AI agent workshop, I wanted to briefly touch the points that Anthropic has touched on last December on how to build a good AI agent. And you guys can find the article at the Anthropic blog, and there's also a link on the slide. So for this, yeah, so rather than sharing my like awful coding and building sample AI agents, I think sharing how to build this effective and reliable AI agent is more valuable for you guys. So Anthropic, so they definitely have been working with a lot of teams that are building AI agents. And what they found, this article is about like what they found during working with those AI agent teams. And the like to overall say the most important thing that they're saying is try to make it simple. And what they're saying is the successful agent implementations that they have seen was not the complex ones. So to go for the golden rules of building AI agent is start simple. The biggest pitfall we see is the rush to complexity. Using heavy framework that adds layers of abstraction, which will make really difficult to debug and also maintain. And so, yeah, build with simple modular patterns. So before rushing into like a preset frameworks like LangChain or Valium or like CrewAI, which I really love three of them all, but try to first see if it's solvable with augmented single LLM call. Because usually most of the tasks that you're trying to do might not be AI agent problem, but it's more of a workflow problem or a single LLM call problem. Because agentic system, which has like multiple steps of workflow, is trade-off of a latency and a cost for performance. So this should be only used when it's significantly beneficial for the results. And it is also important to understand the distinction we'll be using. So workflow is a system pipeline that is like predefined, I think, and making it predictable, while AI agent is more on the other hand of like dynamically finding its own process and more flexible, which makes it more powerful too, but also requires more care for it. So they also shared us agent cookbook here to make like practical AI agent. This contains reference implementations of all different kind of patterns that you'll be see when you're building AI agents. So I highly recommend you to check it out when you're building AI agent. It covers every basic workflows and also like really sophisticated multi-agent, multi-LLM patterns. So yeah, I have some examples here, so let's go into it. So where do we start? Definitely we should start from the LLM. As I mentioned, simple is the best. So foundational building block of any kind of agentic system should be augmented LLM. This is the LLM that is connected to the environment, that it can actually find the ground truths on the environment. So it has tools that can take actual actions on the environment, and also retrieval feature to look up the information of the environment, and also the memory to maintain the context. So for many use cases, well-designed augmented LLM is usually all you're gonna be needing. So don't add like more complexity until you have pushed this simple pattern to its limit. So first pattern we'll be seeing is prompt chaining, and this will be more of like decomposing a large task into a sequence of smaller and more manageable tasks. Each LLM call processes the output to the previous one, and it gives that output to the later one. And we also see the gate in the diagram. So this gate is programmatic checks that will ensure that the output has the right answer before moving on to the next step, because because usually errors get accrued by every step by step. So this is really well suited for the tasks like generating like a marketing copy, or even like generating hierarchical decision making for investments. Also, the second one will be routing. So it is just classifying the input first using the LLM to direct it to specialized follow-up tasks. This is especially helpful if you're building agents that tackles tasks that have distinct domain knowledges or special expertise. In this case, rather than using a general model to solve it, it is better to just route the task to a different specialized one to better solve it. The third one is parallelization. So over here, we're instead of using a sequential flow of workflow, we run multiple LLM calls at the same time and then aggregate the results. We can categorize it also in two different flavors, which is sectioning, where you break the task into independent subtasks and then throw it to the workers that different sub LLMs. And the other one is going to be voting, where you run a same prompt multiple times to get more confident and more thorough answer. So the great example of the voting will be I'm like, for voting, it's also really commonly used on the prediction market resolution, where you need the AI generated answer for a certain prompt or certain market. And if you want to be sure about it, you run it multiple times with different LLMs to have a higher confidence. And also, when we look at different security companies and also the other companies, they also use this voting cookbook to run a same prompt multiple times using a different hyperparameters to make sure that every kind of vulnerabilities have been covered. And this is now more advanced and sophisticated pattern, and this is hierarchical LLM. So it can be divided also to orchestrator and the evaluator part. So first of all, orchestrator there's like a central orchestration LLM, which is really smart, and it acts as a protocol manager, and it dynamically breaks down a complex task into a different tasks and then delegate those subtasks to a specialized worker LLMs. This is ideal for things like complex coding tasks where you don't know all the steps in advance when you're planning. Another advanced pattern will be evaluator and optimizer. It's like a GAN on the AI. This creates a feedback loop of one LLM generates and one LLM tries to evaluate that and critique it so that it can keep on feedback loop on it. It actually really works well, especially on generative AI tasks like image generation, video generation, or even text generation like literature translations. At last, we're arrived at the true agent. So agent uses this pattern and this continuous loop. What makes workflow and agent different is that agent can actually use tools to take actions, and it'll observe how the environment has changed. And using the delta of environment S1 and S2, agent will decide next step what it should do. It can do another action using a different tool, or it can also stop and ask human for further information to be given. So this kind of loop is really unique on the agent, and it's also really hard to use because of this nature. So it has to be used on the open-ended problems, not like previous workflows that can be much of a predefined cases. So the resolution, where the resolution cannot be really predefined, this kind of agent approach is really well suited. So for example, it will be the general purpose computer using assistants or the traveling agency agents in that case. So so to kind of wrap up, I think this is going to be the most important slide for the blog post of the Anthropic. So they are saying that the human-computer interface is changing to agent-computer interface, where they call it ACI, which is how agents interact with its tools, computer. And the design of how you make your tool, which is your project or actual your tool that you're going to be putting on top of LLMs or agents, designing your tool is all about prompt engineering, how your tools can be shown to LLMs. So you must make them incredibly clear and easy for those LLMs or agents to be using it. So best practice of building this kind of tools is to use clear descriptions when you're building a tool and documentations, and make the outcome format simple for evaluation, and also test your tool with different models and different tasks constantly. So the principle is pretty simple: to invest as much effort into the ACI as you would have put it into a human-computer interface when you were building a web app. So don't make your agent just guess what kind of tools it should use, but you should define this usage of the tools really detailed so that LLMs do not have, they do not need to confuse. So this image is, I think you guys will know from the Westworld, where Bernard is a humanoid robot, and when it gets questioned regarding like the any obstacles from the real world, all of the humanoids are programmed to say, doesn't look like anything to me. And this is how like we should it's kind of in a bad example, but yeah, this is how we should define agents to do, like with a really strict forward messages and really straightforward description of the tools, so the agents and LLMs can have no confusion. So key takeaway is try to make as simple as possible. Start with just pure LLM first and then moving forward. And prioritize the transparency of the tools by explicitly showing the agent's planning steps. This will help greatly when you're debugging, because debugging in the agent process is super hard. And also carefully craft your agent-computer interface as you're building an AI agent rather than a web app. So yeah, this is kind of the overview of the Anthropic blog post that I wanted to share. And now I'll move on to what to build a monad.
Well, before we move on, like I have like a couple of questions.
Sure, sure.
You showed like the difference between workflows and agents, and like how you can create like different kind of frameworks for the agents. What kind of frameworks or tool do you suggest for like building a workflow and building a good agent? Like I think like there is Elisa who was out there. So
Mhm.
what are the frameworks do you suggest for developers to start with?
Yeah, so the basic stuff that I believe, and also what this blog post is saying, is usually those kind of frameworks only give you more abstraction layer, which will confuse you in the end. So like when you're using the agent toolkits, at first it's really simple because you can do you can follow their tutorial really easily and build your first app really easily. And then the problem starts later when you want to customize it and when you want to build like more sophisticated like service on top of it. You kind of see really hard on where the problem kind of comes from, because it's not like so especially for AI agent, is pretty different from the software that we have been developed since like it's not like JavaScript, or it's not like React, it's not like Python code that we have been seeing. That the problem is the answer of the AI agent might be right or might be wrong, because um, unlike the deterministic codes, actually debugging the AI agent is really hard because we do not know the actual thought process of the AI agent. Like we're also seeing this like reasoning models these days, and we kind of believe that we're seeing the train of thoughts of the LLM models, but actually that's not what they actually think, but it's just what RL model trained to show on how they should think. So it's not actually how agents decide on certain things. So this kind of sophisticated like nature of AI agents decision making is why we should more try to use automated workflow and LLMs first, and then moving on to more general AI agent tools. So if I am building like some app, I will first try to decide which part of this service can be solved by automated workflow, which can be solved by the rule-based, or just drawing the structure of the workflow, and then which part is not deterministic, or is which part is really hard to predefine, that I have to use AI agent part of it, and then I will only use the AI part on that area, so that when I debug, I can be sure on the outputs of the other workflows, while I can only focus on debugging the prompt engineering or like context engineering on the AI agent part solely.
I see. So I think like there is also an OpenAI SDK where you can write your own tools. So it
Mhm.
basically like you give any like prompt or anything, and LLM will give you the will choose the tools that you have created for the agent to be used. Do you think that's a good place to start for a developer as well?
Um, yeah, I mean, like, I think it depends on like how like seniority you have on, you are saying on the developer. I think if you're like a beginning developer, those kind of visual tools are always super helpful to build it. Like, yeah, other tools. But if you're building more sophisticated app, like for example, for me, I'm using all kind of AI models right now. Like I'm using like Gemini sometimes, I'm using Grok also, I'm using OpenAI too, and I'm also using Quen code. So yeah, I think like for different tasks, different model can be more suitable. And the problem with the OpenAI agent toolkit is that it's going to be only allow you to use OpenAI model, which can be good on certain tasks, but not on the every tasks. And as I mentioned on the other the agent cookbook, there you have to divide this workflow. So like for example, we'll be dividing this task. If this prompt that user gave is related to like a more mathematical thinking, then you should go to like Grok. And then if it's more a coding problem, then you should go to Quen code. And if it's more like a physical world, like physics law kind of thing, it should go to Gemini. Yeah, so I mean, like they have like each of their characteristic and their like good, more focused like area, I think. So having a more generic a generic purpose agent tool, I should say, that supports various model from various provider is going to be what more suited to build a good service, I think.
I see. Thanks for the explanation.
No, it's just my thought. Yeah.
It's super interesting on the yeah, to actually like interact directly with agents through this, right? Question, like 8004, you guys are supporting this?
Sorry, I think I missed it.
The trustless agent standard, right?
Mhm.
It kind of like came out
Oh
a couple of weeks ago.
A004.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
I
Yeah.
gotta check with our dev team. Yeah, it's gonna be included on the mainnet, but I'm not sure about the status
Nice.
right now. Yeah, it's gonna be supported on the mainnet.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
sounds good. Sounds good. No, I mean already this is super exciting,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Also the smart account push sounds good. Yeah, let's see also like what we can build. I think there were, what you say, like there were already different submissions. That's very exciting. But I think like there is so many use cases that people can actually like build and test out
Yeah,
True, true.
definitely.
Yeah, I think it's a bit really late to
Definitely.
kind of elaborate on what to build because there's only like really short amount of time left, but I'll still share it because I wanna like give the clue on like what I think is really like useful agents and also what on a team is seeking for. So to begin with, I kind of divided into beginner and intermediate and more advanced level so that um, builders can choose on their appetite. So to begin with, in the beginner level, it's going to be more of a single clear purpose agents. And so the first thing is going to be the monad gifter agent. And this agent will be sending this gift card of like predetermined amount of specific tokens like meme coin or mon, and users can delegate the permission to the agents to spend that amount of gift token to different users, and then it can be sent to different community members so that yeah, so this is basically a gift card agents that uses monad tokens as the gift. So this is also, I think this is also a good example of delegation toolkit that we can also enforce users to use those kind of tokens on chain, and then yeah, and then also more simply, you don't have to like worry about creating a wallet for them and then how we can send this wallet safely to the gifter, I should say, like the person who gets the gift. We cannot really like send the private key in the email or something. So I think delegation way is really easy way to do it. And other idea is just like a Twitter lurker journal agent, which kind of lurks on a Twitter to find insights from some keywords. So it'll be using the Twitter API to read the data off chain, and then it'll use LLM to keep on summarizing to get the key insights. And with the insights, it will put the summarize to the user's Telegram so that it can like buy token or trade on like alphas or so. So this kind of two ideas will be really like a single beginner level agents, I think. And next is a more sophisticated level, and I think this is more of a service level now. And the first thing is AI agent escape room. Actually, we're seeing a lot of like this Cambrian agent platforms where agents to agents are compete each other to kind of make them better each other. And I think this escape room is also pretty same in that manner. So this the designer of the game will design the game and then it'll keep on giving to these different agents so that these agents can keep on competing to find this piggy bank contract to withdraw the token from this piggy bank. So this is basically agents trying to compete on who's going to escape this room faster using the hints that it has. So it'll be basically competition between the agents, and will be really excited to see this. And also another one is related to the ERC 804 that we mentioned before. We are really looking for this on-chain agent reputation system. We believe this is really critical part of A2A or any more like agent payment protocol. When you're approaching the ecosystem where agent economy is really happening and transactions between agents get more common and common, we really need this reputation system between the agents so that we can kind of see how reputable the the opponents are. And yeah, building this project will be super. And last is the most advanced level. Yeah, so this is going to be like a really big product. And then for the hackathons, we want to see the certain use case of this, a bigger picture of it. So first is definitely the computer use agents. I think we're seeing a lot of like AI browser these days, but people are really scared about like privacy issues and stuff. And so I think like local community use computer use agent is another route to another detour to kind of solve that problem. And also before AI like browser gets more sophisticated and more in the product, more becomes a production level, I think computer use agent can fill the gap in between. So we can see the projects that are building a simple Web3 diff AI agents that use computer using an actual mouse and looking like vision understanding on what the page looks like and doing an action on behalf of user. This will utilize user's computer even though user is not in front of the computer. So this computer use agent is definitely one of the area that we're seeking for. And the second one is the prediction market agent. And this is also what this team is really seeking for right now. Will be the agent that aggregates data from various prediction markets and also the news sources and some of the sentiment analysis from the social networks and stuffs to identify the alpha that is there. So this will be formed of the two parts. So first we'll be aggregating data and betting on the market on behalf of user by aggregating the data from different prediction markets like Polymarket or Kalshi. And also, it can utilize this LLM feature to kind of calculate its own way of finding finding a good way to judge which likelihood. So I think like for prediction market, making it quantize likelihood is really hard. Like we can say that this event is more likely to happen, but saying that it's going to happen by 85% chance is really hard. So I think there are inefficiency in like choosing that number. And what prediction market is doing is trying to use money market to solve that. And I think prediction market agents that kind of understands both the market and also the actual event and the sentiment from the social networks will be better suited to kind of more accurately figure out the quantized number of the likelihood. So yeah, this prediction market agents is definitely one of the other things that we're looking for. Yeah, this is the resources that I used for this deck. And this is the developer Discord of the Monad and also the developer docs. And yep, that's about it.
I was gonna say like the prediction market one. People can build a when monad mainnet launch kind of an agent.
Oh yeah, I
Okay,
mean like
cool.
yeah. Yeah, but I think like we can still start it from the testnet stage. It doesn't have to be like actual voting, but what I expect is more of a like a Billy bet or what AIXP does. People are actually really trusting the judgments that those kind of agents make, and I want to see this kind of social like information giant that can be like AI XPT or Bilibet in prediction market so that it really understands well in the how the prediction market like price is being formed and also the actual like tracking the actual event really immediately and also the like a community sentiment really immediately so that it can most accurately like calculate the likelihood of the event to happen in numbers. So yeah, I think there are huge inefficiency right now in price formation of the prediction market. So I think this kind of prediction market agents is going to be kind of a really big thing coming
Yeah.
up.
Even the A2A game use case is also good. Like you remember like there were like games where you used to play with different people, like Age of Empires, where you need to like control
Oh
your
yeah,
friend to control the
yeah,
territory. What if like you have a game where like you give like an agent that what is the aggression, what is the diplomatic stance on like forming an alliance, and then basically LLMs play against each other and like get the like majority of territory. They can also form an alliance with different alliance by giving some tokens or something like that. That could also be a good game.
Sure. I mean, like, I think the Goat the Gospel was kind of in a similar like social experiment, and also the escape room that I mentioned on the beginner stages, intermediate stages, also in a similar manner. I think this kind of agent to agent like evolution is really interesting to watch in a human's perspective. And yeah, it's also a really so yeah, I believe like reinforcement learning is the only way we can achieve AGI. And then in that manner, I think it's also really exciting experiment to see.
This is super exciting. One thing is I'm mostly exciting on the DeFi side, right? For trustless agents is the very specific task, right? For example, liquidity pool auto rebalancing. You kind of like delegate rights to agents to do auto rebalancing based on kind of like specific yield criteria. So I think these very specific use case for DeFi are very powerful, and they're perfect fit also for kind of like for the agent use case, for the delegation use case, and on the Monad MCP use case, right? Yeah. That's definitely exciting. So I think we have like 7 minutes left. Is there like something, I'm always asking what people should build, and that's what we did here. But is there something that you feel like, some lesson learned that you have some recommendation? You are some kind of like, hackathon OGs here. Do you have some specific recommendation in terms of like, do this instead this? Do this instead this, or something like, kind of like, because there is a lot of kind of also error that people don't do enough readmes. Maybe there is not enough like 1 minute video. Like some lesson learned that you guys have during the years that you can share, so that people can kind of like speed up their process.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Uh, yeah. Ayush, you want to go first?
no, go first, go first.
Yeah, for me, I think, yeah, as we mentioned about the OpenAI Dev Day, that like agent toolkit was announced, and I saw like some tweets that are saying like OpenAI killed various startups again, like kind of tweet. I think in this like AI era, um like technical moat is really easily broken, I think. Unlike the pre-existing software environment where there were technical moats between the industry companies, I think it's really hard to set the barrier by just technical superiority, but more on like how fast you ship and how fast you move according to the market situation, and how good you are at gaining the attention. So yeah, I want to like advise builders to focus on like what market wants and moving really fast and learning how to gain that good attention is going to be the really, yeah, the best skills that they will need in this like open AI world we're living in. Yeah, those are just my like thoughts, I think.
Sounds good. Any practical things that that you've been building a lot of like hackathon submission in the past?
I think like just going through Twitter and like seeing like what's being like what's been talk of the town. For example, 804 is the talk of the town right now. So if you're building an agentic use case, I think there was also mentioned by Snooper that like reputation system and on-chain reputation system, that's a good use case for 804. So if you're building like that kind of in like agentic tab, you can also like use the 804, because 804 major thing is like the feedback registry that you have, where like there are like feedbacks for the agents, and then you can like have a tab where like which chooses an agent that has like feedback of greater than 4, or like whatever feedback that you decide. That can be also a good use case. But I would definitely say that apart from building, like do spend time on like having a good readme, like what your tab is doing, have relevant links in the like in your readme, that if you're integrating an agent, just point that to particular files, so that like the reviewers can basically go. And also a cool demo video could be really helpful, because oftentimes like people don't have a deployed link where we can test out the tap or the flow, and it's really hard for us if there is no video explaining how the flow works, how the tap looks like. So it's pretty kind of I would say no one would basically clone your repo and run it. So having a good video and having a demo that like reviewers can test out would be really helpful.
Yeah, I think the video is definitely something that judges are always looking around, and it will also like facilitate the judging period, because every time is definitely hard. Sounds good. I mean, that's very very exciting. Let me also like share here. I think everybody kind of like got this. This is the QR code. We are super exciting. I mean, with this specific dev cook-off, there is a lot of things that you can actually like build and learn. I think this time we definitely like encourage more people with these kind of like workshops, webinar, live coding session to put it. And I think we have also like one question before we are closing up. I assume this is for you. Ayush, can I roll my delegate? I didn't find any topic.
Yeah, so you can revoke basically, but it's not like revoke. So whenever you do a delegation, it's basically off chain, right? So what you can do is you can disable a delegation on chain. So let's say even if like your delegation, the delegation you did to delegate is available to the delegate, if you disable the delegation on chain, even if they try to redeem, the redemption will fail. So I'll share the doc link as well. So you can basically go. It just takes it's a function which takes a delegation. So any delegation that you want to disable on chain, you can do it. So if anyone tries to redeem the delegation, it will basically fail on chain and revert back.
Okay, makes sense. So on that, perfect. I see we have 1 minute. I just want to share quickly the where you can actually see it. The QR code is basically redirecting you to this MetaMask Smart Account and Mona Dev Cook-Off. This is the Aquest page. This is partner we're working with. Here you can see both the countdown. You have more information basically when we went through today. One things that I definitely like suggest everyone to check out is the idea. There is a couple of things. There is the resources here. You can see both guides on the MetaMask Smart Accounts and Monad side. And yeah, I don't know if like there is already some kind of like project specific. Anything to add here? Ayush or Snowbeaver, that you guys before we're closing up?
I think like you can go to the resources page. It has like everything you need to find out. If you still need any help, like we have the like our Telegram channel as well. Also, Moonat Discord. We are active at both places, so feel free to reach out, tag us. I'll happy to help.
Sounds good. Okay, I think we're good to go. Again, thanks everyone. I mean, huge thanks, Snowbeaver and the entire Mona team to running and costing this with us. I think like it's very exciting to kind of combine like different tech stack together. Thank you so much again, like Ayush. I think like smart accounts are here to stay, and without you, this will not be possible. So let's continue to hack and build. We have another like 10 plus days before the deadline. And again, thanks so much for everyone that came here in this workshop live stream. for this 1 hour and ask you question. Super appreciate it. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.